4PL play4fame Corsair Vengeance Cup qualifier together with Pulse. Say hello to everyone, Pulse.
Hello! It was very lucky that I just finished what I was doing. You know what it was. But,
oh my god. Let's not do this on stream, dude. So, the first ban is going to be Cannon. That's actually a very surprising ban. Well, Mopo did do very well with Cannon last game, so maybe it's targeted at him. But, yeah, Cannon is a very strong pick. It's just not a very common ban. It's kind of strange.
For sure, yeah, it's definitely not a common ban, but then again it synergizes well with so many APs, like look at Karthus, look at Morgana, look at Vladimir. It makes sense to ban him out, especially when they just had the game with El Mupo as top, who did so well on Kennen, and it makes sense to ban someone who is so viable in every lane and every situation. Very difficult to counterpick a Kennen, much like Riven as well. So, yeah, also got the Urgot, which is kind of like a blanket ban. Urgot's so strong in lane. Completely just melts so many AD carries at bottom. He's not an AD carry himself, more like an anti-carry, that type of thing, but extremely strong. So the Malphite ban, let's take me over that.
Yeah, the Malphite ban is also like pretty standard, a blanket ban as you call it. He can go both top and jungle, he can even go mid. AP Malphite does work. He's just a very strong pick and a very common ban. As is Shen, as is Ahri. I don't think we've seen a single game without Ahri getting banned this day. And Karthus getting banned, that was predictable.
Yeah, for sure. Like, Moma's Karthus is ridiculous, and now it's Moma's pick, coincidentally. So we'll see what he decides to pick out here. But again, yep, Shen, Karthus banned out. Recurring theme here, maybe, Global Ultimates, but Nocturne is still open, and oh wow, Nautilus is open. We have not yet seen a Nautilus, I don't think, purely because he's so strong and he's been banned out in every single game so far.
He wasn't banned in the last game actually, I was very surprised not to see him, but it's going to be a knockout first pick. That's
alright, so
interesting.
Maybe they're predicting the double AP comp, because we've seen this so many times from TMsK. Every time we've casted them so far, it's always been a double AP comp. So maybe they're just like leading it and going with that Maokai, obviously for his ultimate, because he does have that great counterplay. And Morgana coming out, yeah, it's already shaping up to potentially be a double AP. Morgana synergized as well, so many of those APs. We'll see what Eklex takes out here.
And they're going to go for Noxin. They don't want to get counter-picked in the top lane. I think that's the reason they picked Noxin. Morgana isn't really easy to counter-pick because Morgana beats pretty much everything. I think only like Talon or something actually beats her. Other than that, she can always just farm. There's no way you can actually beat a Morgana. You can't completely destroy her in lane. You can only like make her farm only. That's the only thing you can do against her. I'm going to say only another time. Only. So. Nocturne, pretty standard pick. Second most valued jungler in the game at the moment. Only Null is more valued, except for this game where they're not picking him for some reason. It's kind of strange because Null synergizes really well with Morgana.
Yeah, that's very true. Nautilus synergizes well with everyone because it's Nautilus.
Yeah, Nautilus actually has the most CC in the game. I saw a chart of someone on Reddit, and he seriously is the only champion in the game with 4 CCs.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. Like, some of them are rather small, but it's just the disruptive power, which is absolutely insane. I'd put probably Alistair kind of alongside that, and ooh, potentially Drace once again. So Candy Panda with that Tristana, no, he's very strong with that. And Nif with the Janna, very good synergy. And yeah, the thing with Nocturne is Nocturne's really strong. I don't rate him as an extremely strong pick in solo queue because he kind of needs his lanes to be able to follow up on his initiate. Because if you initiate in a bad spot, then your allies, if you're not coordinated, are not going to be able to follow up on it. You've just separated yourself from the team. Then again, Anivia's still open. That could definitely be a pick to try and lock Nocturne out when he goes for that initiate, unless he goes for that as a secondary initiate to try and go for those carries. So, okay, we do have the Graves, not going to go for the Jace, sad face, but we do have the Sirach as well. Definitely that tier 1 support at the moment.
Yeah, you could still go for Jace, by the way. But what they're doing with this this picking order is they're making sure that they can counter-pick top, which is the advantage you do have if you're the purple team. You're allowed to counter-pick your top or your mid. But usually it's top that gets counterpick because counterpicks in top are way more valuable. So there's going to be a Yorick, and that's pretty much not counterable.
Yeah.
Cho'Gath does well against him, because Cho'Gath heals off the minions if he does the last hit. Other than that, not much. I can't think of anything. Can you think of anything that beats Yorick?
I can think of things that don't die against Yorick.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, Kennen does fairly well against him, so does Riven, I guess. But Riven's, you know, a safe pick against everyone, so is Kennen, maybe Uther as well. No one really flat out beats Yorick, as long as he's playing well. Like, obviously anyone can really beat him, but it's very difficult. Irelia's maybe got a good chance, considering she's got a lot of sustain. Level 6, she does fairly well, but unless they get some nice ganks off, they're not going to be able to shut him down. And it's a really good pick because they picked him last. They don't have a ganking jungler. Well, Nocturne's a ganking jungler, but he doesn't really gank pre-6, or at least they're not amazingly effective compared to other ganker junglers. So it makes a lot of sense. So there's very little they can do to shut that Yorick down, which is something that happens. It's kind of like a reoccurring theme. Every time someone picks that Yorick, they try and focus on that lane to shut that guy down before he just really scales. He's like Urgot in that respect. If he doesn't do well in lane, he's got less utility when it comes to team fights and late game. Though obviously Urgot does have his ultimate, Yorick doesn't have too much. And they're kind of expecting Candy Panda to do well here, just so they can get that Profana ultimate on that guy. And
yeah, if they get a double Tristana, it's going to be insane, because Tristana does have the highest range in the game, and that's going to be insane if they get a double clone. The only thing that's stronger than that is a Twitch. But other than that, there's no way there's going to be something better than the double Tristana. So it'll be interesting to see. He's probably going to dominate top, and his ultimate's going to be very useful if he can get the double Tristana out. Other than that, in the bottom, it's Tristana, Janna versus Graves, Soraka. I'm not actually sure who wins that. Both decently strong lanes. I'm gonna guess that Team Magashuk is the better bot lane, because Soraka Graves is just a really strong lane.
Well, Soraka Graves is really strong, yeah, because he can constantly bookshot, he can constantly poke out the harass. Though it's Tristana, and she's very hard to shut down. She's got that pushing power. She can easily outpush that Graves, basically. So that trying to push them to the tower is really not going to work out so well. And then you have Soraka, battery healer. It basically depends, can Candy Panda completely burst down Graves before either Graves bursts her down with that ignite, or Soraka sustains a backup. Either way, it kind of looks like a farm lane to me. Soraka's not usually a safe pick because she usually pushes the lane, but against Graves it kind of is, because Graves just pushes the lane with the bookshot. He's got Soraka, he's going to be doing that 100%. So yeah, kind of even lane for me. And I think it's basically who plays better. And of course we do have Candy Panda with that cleanse. I believe he takes that most games as well, no matter really what he's playing. But he needs that against so much CC. Kaltard, if he gets locked in that. And the Silence and the Goats. And Elmoppo with Equilibrium potentially as well.
So we're going to have to go into a short ad break really quickly. We will be back with you guys as soon as the game starts and the ads are over. So stay tuned. We will be back in a bit. Welcome back everyone, this is Caesar speaking together with Pulse, and we are in the loading screen. We are gonna look at the skins really quickly. So, yeah, this is a definite win for Team Megashock.
Yorick,
Like,
you disappoint me, son.
yeah, not only that, but they've got Blackthorn, Morgana, and Mafia Graves, and Frostblade Aurelia, which is pretty cool. And Hansing Nocturne, who shoots jizz with his Q. Because you can't tell me that it's something else on that.
No innuendos, just like straight out. Amazing.
Yeah. It is Elf. I've not
Toaster.
seen that Tristana skin yet.
I've
That's a
only
very
seen,
old one.
I've only seen Candy Panda with it, and that's it. Literally.
Maybe it's a
He's
Candy
in.
Panda skin.
There'll be the skin specifically for Candy Panda, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
They've also got Festive Maokai, so they've got two Christmas skins, but, you know, it's not really going to work. Because Graves is just going to make them an offer they can't refuse, and then there's like Halloween skin on Nocturne. And just that Morgana skin is just awesome. Let's just keep it at that. Morgana skin is freaking awesome. I love that skin. I'd totally buy it if I played Morgana. So everyone's going to be spawning and they're going to be picking up their boots except for the supports. As per usual. Maokai could be going Regrowth Bandit or boots, probably Regrowth Bandit. Yeah, there you go. He's going to rush at Philistine. And that's what he does. So for the level 1 fight, could possibly happen. There is a dog binding on Team Megashock, as well as a nah, that's actually kind of it.
Yeah. I was just expecting a follow-up and that's it, you know. Yeah, whatever. But I don't know if they're going to go for an invade. They might try and disrupt Maokai, because Maokai without blue, as we've seen before, is pretty darn terrible. And if they get this off him, it's going to be a massive hit. Okay. They're waiting here in the bushes, in the line. Nice. Karma would be happy about that one if she was playing AP. But I don't know what they're trying to do right here. I mean, Moma...
I'm pretty sure they're gonna wait for Daedrion to come through the entrance and then be like, "Yo, Dark Binding." That's my guess. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for him to go for his blue, and Fascia coming out from Daedrion is gonna be just fine. And El Mopo moving over. Not sure what he's doing.
Clever mind play right now, like very clever mind play. It's like, okay, you get your Wraiths, you should be good to go, and that's what they're thinking right now. So everyone's gonna be like not on red alert, and then he's gonna get his Wraiths, he's gonna go over to blue and get gibbed. I think that's the plan. Of course, like Tristana's gone back right now. What the heck? Tristana's going top along with Nif, I believe. Oh Nif! Oh Nif! They've spotted Nif, they know he's going up. Might not be able to react to this one.
Oh, Moma!
Moma!
Oh,
Moma, two people getting caught. First blood, straight from Morgana. Moma, don't do it. And they are going to go ahead and try and take that blue buff. There we go. Maokai also there, Drayon, trying to get something done, but not going to happen. Needs to be careful, could get caught by a Mopo. And all he can do is really harass at this stage. Yeah, he's going to have to go for his walls. That is a massive hit right now for Drayon. It is absolutely huge. Ouch. I don't like it. However, Moma taking a lot of damage from Kaltod in the mid. There goes the silence as well. Chasing after, auto attack, ignite as well.
Healthbot is going to be able to save him though. He would have probably gone down without that Healthbot there. Oh, Silence goes out. Oh, he's almost down. Ouch. Flash this up. Yeah, if it wasn't for the Healthbot, I'm pretty sure Momo would have just flashed after him and killed him.
For sure, yeah. Both junglers looking for a gank in mid, dude, and Goat's coming in immediately onto Moma. Lands that Dark Binding, should be dead before Durayon can react. There we go, now he's in a bad position, walks straight up to that. No red buff, can't really stop him from retreating. Did a lot of damage though, and Maokai can't afford to take this damage considering he lost that blue buff.
Yeah, really well played by Team Megashock there. They knew that Kaizo was going to have a bad time with such low HP, but they just ganked him, and he got a lot of health back because of his inbuilt spell vamp as well as all the health pots he had in his pocket. He's got 870 gold, so he can't go back yet to get 2 Doran's blades, or rings I mean. Why do I always say blades? And actually it's going to be an initiate. Kaizo staying a little too long. He's going to go down though. Yes, there's going to be a flash as well as a smash on the ground, and Kaizo is going to be very low. Moma is going to auto attack him and kill him. Yeah, I don't know. He stayed too long.
Yeah, meanwhile our boss and Nocturne looking for the gank on Profana. Goat's there, flash over, Tether goes down, flash as well to try and get this one off. Red buff there as well, Etnex going out, And Ignite goes down onto Ghost, looking for the kill, not going to happen. But that was a very nice counterplay by Profana, stopping that from happening and nearly picking up a kill for himself as well. If he had gotten double buff, man, that bot lane.
Oh, that would have been so painful. Okay, so we said we had like that thing where Yorick has a few people that can farm against him. Blue buff Yorick, no way. There's literally nothing that does even decently against that. There's no way you're gonna win that.
They have Soraka though, battery healer and mana, so you know.
Yeah, it doesn't
but
really
still
matter.
2 versus 1.
Blue buff Yorick? Nah, there's no way. There's literally no way. It's just way too strong. But up top, they're kind of denying Elmopo a bit, but it's not too much. He's Aurelia, so he does do decently against ranged people. It's not like he's, let's say, who's really badly against melee people, or at ranged people, I mean. I don't know, Garen or something. That'd be horrible.
Well, they went for the swap up, and Yark is only very slightly ahead of Irelia, but she's supposed to go back anyway, so she's going to be losing out on some farm. And I think this is pretty much now where they're going to increase that advantage with that swap up. It's kind of an interesting play there, putting Candy Panda top along with Nip. Tries to shut down Irelia, and they know that obviously Yark can sustain himself. Bryon, oh, Kaltar gonna go straight into that bush. There's the Arcane Smash going with the red buff following up on this one. But Caston, not really interested. Too much farm at that turret, and he realises this. Bryon just kind of sitting there, saying hi to Morgana, kind of zoning her out. All he can really do at this stage. He realises he needs ganks to keep up, because he's lost that blue. And that's exactly what he's trying to do, but it's basically at the moment, it's just wasted mana.
So right now, it looks like Goat's gonna move down, but they do ping it a lot, and they know he's coming. Nip's gonna put down a ward, and they are perfectly aware that Goat's is there. So Goat's just gonna put down a ward and float away. Ooh, that Dark Binding almost hit. So down bottom, Yorick doing decently, isn't really outfarming Aurelia though, so not sure how much the swap up is worth it. No. I don't know. The ADKs are also equal, so I don't know how much this was worth it. It's kind of gimmicky, because what happens now is that there's better Baron or Dragon control for Team Megashock, but there's gonna be a gank now. Daedron is gonna definitely twist the fence in, and ooh, we got silence, great silence from Jure. That was really well played, but Arcane Smash still gonna hit. Adnex is gonna be very low. Ignite does not go down, Profana gets exhausted, and looks like Adnex is going to be just fine. Daedron getting very low. Here comes Ghost, and they're going to go back into this. Ghost is going to use his spear on towards Profana. Is he going to block it? Yes, he is. Profana very low. Is and ooh, the Dark Binding almost hit, but here comes Kaltar. It's going to use the ultimate. Insta-kill Daedron, and it's going to get the other kill for Ghost. But here comes Moma. Is Moma going to be able to pick up Adnex? Adnex getting very low, but Moma is going to go down. Adnex survives with 10 HP. Oh crap, that health blood was too strong. Wow,
Kaltar
really
did the same as well. He was on about 30 HP, escaping from that one. That was close. That was definitely close. That was nearly 2 for 2. Didn't happen. Very well played. They just calculated the health. They knew how much they could take. G doing a great job as well. And they are now 1 and 5. That just did not work out well for them. And that was a beautiful gang as well. 4-man bottom, 7 minutes 30, and there's the Drake as well. You don't really see that until 11 minutes plus, so this is a very early Drake. And they should be able to pick it up with not too many troubles. Goat's kind of falling low, but they have Dree there. Should be good to go.
Ooh, actually, it's getting very low.
Oh, wow. The Drayon.
Daedron is not going to go for it, but... Ooh, wow. That almost worked. If it had worked, it's one of those things again where if it had worked, it'd be epic, but it didn't.
Yeah. That would have put them so far ahead though. Like 2 kills right there, and Drake. That is massive. But as it is, they're still in a good position, no doubt. Like, there's no two ways about it. They're in a good position.
Yes, definitely, and they are only 2k ahead, which is not too much. Could still go either way, obviously, but still, if they're able to snowball this, and if they don't make mistakes and take every advantage they get, they will just snowball this scored advantage out of control. And TMsK is a very good team, and they might well be able to do this.
Yep, for sure. Like, when good teams get ahead, they stay ahead, and that's at least what they try to do. Not many mistakes are made, and basically that's what a high elo game is. whoever makes the most mistakes loses. And Momo just face plants into a wall. So, you know, I didn't see that moment, it's fine. You know, carry on going as normal. But yeah, I completely agree with you. I don't know how well this swap is going because they have greater control at bottom because they have 2 people there. Top, I read is actually out farming Yorick. The AD carries, okay, so Tristan's ahead, but they didn't get a Drake actually, but they probably will do soon. So it's even at the moment, but it's definitely not benefited them, for sure.
Yeah, there's going to actually be an initiate right now. It's going to go for Profana. Profana going to flash out. Is going to be just fine. Was close though. In the meantime, Daedrion is looking for a gank up top. He's going to move into the bush, and we'll be able to go for this. He's looking for it, but Kanipana is pushing a little bit too hard. Actually, yeah, what he's trying to do is making sure that they're gonna tower dive? They're gonna tower dive, and Mopo is gonna get initiated on the Wizard Plant as well as Arcane Smash. Daedrion has to flash out with the Ignite on him. Well played by Mopo. And in the meantime, Red Buff gets picked up immediately because they see 3 people top. And Mopo getting very low now is gonna go down for sure. Here comes Twisted Pants and Kanipana gonna pick it up. They're gonna take out a tower. In the meantime, Team Megashop picked up Dragon, as I said, they're now pushing mid. If they get that tower, it's a tower and a Dragon for a tower and a kill, and that's definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely, they're going to take that one down. Dree just taking a bit of damage at bottom, but he can't really get the kills 2 versus 1. Yeah, this is for sure going to be that tower falling. Yep, that was definitely worth it for them. And definitely mid is more really valuable than top, so...
Yeah, at this point it is. Later on, the Baron control is really good with the top tower down, but for now mid is way more important.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that is, by the time it gets to the time you get Baron, or you're able to get Baron, then top tower is kind of negligible in damage. Like, it doesn't do much to kind of deter you. It's not like a safe zone anymore. Because 24 minutes in, 25 minutes in, you can just ignore that. At least your bruisers can ignore that and do very little damage. Ganipanda actually putting down the ward, looking to do something against Ghost. He's kind of scared. Yeah, he doesn't want to do anything. He knows Irelia is top. He could get sandwiched in here. Kaltor taking a lot of damage from Moma. I think he's looking for the gank along with Trist. Rocket Jump comes down and auto attack. Flash goes out and Kanipanda gets feared by Goats. Tether did come to completion and it will be out of there. 0 for 0.
Yeah, it's still a good idea to try it out. You want to try to take every advantage you get, and because they did take down that top tower, they will be able to roam quite effectively, because Tristana and Janna are pretty good roamers.
Yeah, for sure. So, Janna is now supporting Profana. Aha! Yankee.
That's interesting. He does scale with AD, but you'd rather have a Soraka with your Auric.
I suppose top tower's gone down, now Candypan is roaming, and Irelia's just freezing the lane, so he might go for that 3-4-man invade onto blue, however, because they are now roaming. Irelia is definitely top, she can't contest this. Goat's going to go ahead and try and start it. Little to no mana, no wards around the area, I don't think he's on that. Depends if they go for that timing push, they know it's coming up around about now. Candypan are going to jump over right into the face of Goats. Looking to try and do something here. Kalton taking a lot of damage from Moma. Meanwhile, Goat's taking a lot of damage. He hasn't got in range for Soraka's heal. Does not have any mana either. Moma coming in from the side. Gets it. Very clean. Etnex in a bad position. Looking to quick draw over the wall with Dree. Force a flash. Has a lot of summoners and a blue. Nice invade. That was a 5-man invade. And that's the good thing. And now, Irelia's pushing top because she knew they were down bottom. Should be able to get that tower, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's gonna deny a lot of experience to Team zoum. That's a really hard name. Anyway,
yeah, it is.
But it's gonna deny us experience, and he's not gonna try to actually push it down. But still, it's gonna be a lot of experience wasted. That's I think 2 minion waves there, as well as the minion wave before that Candy Panda was not able to pick up. And you know, it's not a huge problem, but still, it's every little bit helps. And Team Megashop is now firmly in the gold lead with 3k difference at 13 minutes. That's a pretty significant gold lead at this point in the game.
Yeah, for sure. Ednex was gonna bully Profana. You're not recalling here, son, and they're gonna back off. Interesting, Moma pumped a flash for Morgana's ultimate, and he's casted it. He had a Rift Walk up, so I'm not entirely sure what the thought process was behind that. Maybe it was a second cooldown or something, but it looked very odd, definitely to me. Nif, I think he's good to go. Yeah, probably okay. Profana only got boots, just stopping him from recalling, and we could see something at top.
So right now, Elmupo is going to be probably getting out of here. Actually, there's going to be a Twisted Advance on him. And Nif tries to get him away. Ignite goes down. Nif getting very low, but the shield is going to save him for now. Here comes Goats. Is he going to be able to do something? Candypanda flashes out immediately. Daedron is also going to walk away. So Elmopo is safe, but a lot of Stormrunner spells and a little bit used there. I'm not sure if who got on top of that trade spell-wise.
Oh, but meanwhile, bottom next did fall to a gank from Moma. Instantly Gibbs and Struck was not able to do anything about that one, especially with it being magic damage. That might be... they didn't have any minions bottom. Can they carry on pushing? There's no one in the immediate vicinity. You might be able to pick this one up, but Fafana desperately wants to go back. He's got 2k gold, he's only got boots. And yeah, he's been denied going back so many times by that pushing power of that Soraka and Graves, and that's a downfall of that kind of swap up, because you have so much sustain, so much pushing power.
So, there's a Phage on Elmopo, so he's going for the Trinity Force build, which is pretty common already nowadays. Could be going for Frozen Mallet, but I expect a Trinity Force. Yeah, he's gone for Ninja Tabbies as well, obviously because there's pretty much... There's very little CC actually on Swam. I only just realized that.
Yeah.
They have a Silence, and a knock-up, 2 knock-ups, a Snare, Silence, and a few slows, but that's not, like, that isn't huge. On the other team we have a slow or stun, depending on the health of the enemy of course, and a snare as well as a stun on possibly 5 people, and then there's a fear and a silence, so that's way more CC on that team. They're gonna go for Dragon right now, Team Mega Shock, and there's an Oracle, so that Vision Ward will get cleared almost immediately. And Dragon is gonna go down pretty quickly. There's no one even close to contest it. And have slain. I like the way she says it as well.
Slain the dragon.
The intonation
Raven
is not.
does it all. It's just, yeah. If that ghoul had stolen Drake, that would have been amazing. But it didn't.
Yeah. That'd be pretty
That
cool.
must have happened at some point in, somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the world of Runeterra that must have happened. It's like, you can explain that. It's like so many games, so many people play this game. It's like, this must have happened at some point, somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm looking at the items. There's not a lot that's very interesting, except that Nif is very far behind in his gold percent.
Wow.
He only has a Philosopher's Stone. He does have enough gold for a Heart of Gold. But yeah, I don't know. That's very annoying for him actually, because the gold percent is huge on sports.
Moment go for the gank on Dreammill, our bottom, massive burst. What attack for the finish, and now Bethana there as well. Riftwalk goes down, gets the slow onto NX, not going to follow this one up. Don't know where Nocturne is, and do not know where Morgana is. Morgana Freeman, I saw that the other day, that made me lol. So, Candyman just happily farming at top as well.
So, as for the build of Gaston, it's going to be a Rod of Ages. No Tear of the Goddess. That's kind of interesting. You usually see a Tear of the Goddess on Kassadin, but that's kind of strange. Though I'm not sure why people build that, because I don't play Kassadin. But I think it's got something to do with his ultimate stacks. They give extra damage, right?
What?
Yeah.
Every time he uses his ultimate, it increases in damage. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why you want the extra mana, so you can spam your ultimate, do loads of damage with it. And usually see people go Tear of the Goddess as well, Rod of Ages, but not this one. And Moma is going to be confident with just the Rod of Ages.
Rod of Ages has a lot of mana in itself, and because he's confident he's getting blue buffs, he really doesn't need it. It's not necessary, and I think they've got the idea that this game isn't going to go on till late game, because generally you only do that. It's like with Yara, and meanwhile El Mopo, a counter initiate, I think he should be fine. But ultimate goes down by goes looking for the initiate, goes down to Candy Panda, rocket jump, too good. Yeah, that's the difficulty with Candy Panda on Tristana, it's so difficult to pin down. And yeah, what were we talking about? We were talking about Caston. Yeah, This is the thing, like, it's probably not going... They're looking to go for an early finish, I think, or like mid-game or maybe early late game, because otherwise you would go tier, basically because it's, this guy's went to late game. Meanwhile mid, Kaltar goes straight onto Moma, gets the ultimate, oh, Riftwalk out of there before he can do anything, and will he be able to get out of here? Riftwalk goes down, Dree coming from the other side to Drayon, they're trying to bail this guy out, 3 versus 2, Drayon is knocking everyone away, trying to get him out of trouble. Profana also there to protect him, Kaltard looking for that to happen, Moma steals spin down from Profana. I think he was using it as a shield against Kaltard, trying to stop that Q from happening.
It was kind of strange though. I'm not entirely sure what he was thinking doing that, but...
Using it as a shield to stop the dog binding, I think.
I guess, could use minions
very
for that
clever.
now. Could use minions for that now.
That's true, it's true. Maybe it was on cooldown.
I'm not sure. Anyway. I don't know, you say that they want to go for late game, but they've got a pretty late game team composition. Their mid game, like Tristana mid game is just bad. Compared to other AD carries, her mid game is just bad. And I don't know, Tristana's a very good late game, especially with Vajana, because she gets a huge attack beats.
Meanwhile mid to Drayon. Meanwhile mid dead.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
Yeah, the burst of Kassadin, man, the burst of Kassadin, that's just a full representation. And that is why he doesn't really need tier. This is the thing, like, it delays his damage potential. That's another thing. And just then, you saw what Rod of Ages did for him, and that's another blasting one. Instead of blasting one, he could have got tier, but he just burst that guy instantly. So, in that respect, he's going to be scaling harder, and they're going to end the game earlier, just because, you know, he has that extra scaling as an AP carry. But, let's see what they can do.
But what I was gonna say about Tristana is that her she has like ridiculous range. She has the longest range in the game, as well as a really good attack speed buff. And Janna's gonna give her a shield, which gives her 50. Wow, I almost did it in Dutch there. Gives her 50 extra attack damage, which is more than a BF sword. So that's pretty much 1800 gold of item there. So, but with that attack speed buff she already gets and the enormous range she has, that just gives her such a big advantage, and that's why she's so good late game. I'm not sure, I think they want to drag this out to late game, because their late game is so much better. Especially if they get the Yorick ultimate on Candy Panda, because then they have 2 Tristans who do ridiculous amounts of damage.
The thing with Profana's ultimate is that it's only 60%, it's not 100% like Mort. And Profana doesn't have great late game scaling, neither... I mean, Kassadin can scale well, but it's all about staying above the curve. A bit like LeBlanc. Again, it's about all assassins, they need to stay above the curve. So he doesn't have... gets a late game. Profana isn't as strong as
I strongly disagree with that.
Same with Moma.
Kassadin is very strong late game. Like, Kassadin's late game is better than his early game or his mid game.
Yeah, it's better, but he's not like the best at all. Not in any shape or form.
I'm not sure. I know he scales really well. But I don't know, we'll see. He does have the turret right now though, so our entire discussion was moot. But yeah.
This guy.
The red team has slain the dragon. Yeah, he did it just to troll us, I'm sure of it.
Interesting though, considering that it's kind of a late tier, 22 minutes in.
Yeah,
he wants it for the regen and the mana, but...
Kassadin can stack it up pretty quickly. He already has 32 extra, so that's 8 sacks. Without even being in the lane. So, I don't know, he's picking up pretty quickly. And Niv and Kandipan are trying to outpush the entire enemy team. Team Megashop gonna go for mid. This is gonna be an initiate right now. Kinda look like they're gonna go for the trade. Here comes the initiate with the ultimate. Zonias goes down, is going to be able to pick up Profana. Sorry for that. Momo's going to pick up a kill. That twisted the fastball towards Elmopo. Knockup comes from the arcane smash. Elmopo very low. Moma can't stay there though, because he'll just die if he does. But in the meantime, Candy Panda going to take down the inhibitor, and that was incredibly worth it for Team Zoum. That was awesome.
1 for 1, and inhib, and tower. I think he got 2 towers there as well.
2 towers.
Wow, 2 towers, inhib, 1 for 1 kills. definitely worth it, and they actually came out in a better shape there as well. Like, Moma's still alive, he had the assassination capability, but he didn't even need to. They just need to try and push mid, get near Candy Panda, and just go for more sieging capability, which is exactly what they're doing. Moma, I think, going good for that blue, and Goats can't really do much with Candy Panda just wailing on that turret. Counter Initiate goes to the ultimate as well, and he's good to go. I seriously doubt they're going to be able to catch up to Candy Panda and Jadran. Yep, Candy Panda's actually going to turn around and shoot Dre in the face. That's how much you're not going to catch up to me.
Still, there's a 1k advantage for Team Megashock, but it's not really going to help them a lot because they have a huge disadvantage in map control now.
They're rushing Baron.
They
looks.
I don't know. They could do it. They don't have a lot of damage though. Nah, they want to go to mid and they want to kill Candy Panda, but they're not going to be in time, I assume. Actually, they're going to go for Profana. Profana going to get slowed. Not going to be enough. Counter Initiate onto with a Moppo. Candy Panda doing huge amount of damage. Moma getting 1v1 by Goats is going to not be able to 1v1 him properly. But there comes the rest of his team. Profana going to do a lot of damage. Candy Panda kills Goats. Now Kauto is getting the aggro on him. Is going to go. Ooh, it's going to go to zone, yes. But it's still going to go down.
Wow.
And to raise that, a double kill. Candy Panda is going to jump. And that's a dead out next as well. That's 4 people down. Elmofo being very low. Candy Panda gonna get ulted. Dude, now there's gonna be huge amounts of damage on towards this turret if Candy Panda actually starts sacking it. Okay, there we go. And turret gonna go down. That's a double inhibitor down. And there's very little that Team Megashock is gonna be able to do against this because bot lane, the tower is almost down as well. They're probably gonna go for that too. Or they're just gonna retreat and form up for Baron. No, they're gonna go for bottom lane.
Yeah. That was an incredibly good push, basically. They got a pick, they got 3 more picks, one after another. They have a great pick team as well. Tristana is able to attack, move, and that's basically what was happening. He couldn't pin her down, and she was just ripping into them, like, seriously, it was ridiculous. And now, Caston 7-2, 7-2 and 3. They're looking for potentially Baron now, and Baron's next sort of fight opportunity, but 2 inhibs down. Team Megashark are not in a great position basically. They can go for Baron and potentially stop them from doing it. They probably lose like a Nexus turret. They go to Baron, they even get Baron, they probably lose 2 because they've just lost so many members. And maybe that last person standing can't even protect against the onslaught of minions. So it's looking bad for them. Like, no matter what they do, they're going to be in a bad position, and that's like their predicament at the moment. So if zoum pushed their advantage and just pressured them, which I believe they will do, it's looking bad for them. It really is looking bad for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Team Megashock could be able to pull this off. If they get like Morgana ultimate off properly, then they can definitely still win, but I'm not sure. It's going to be really hard for them. And as you can see, they have to go bots and push that back because as soon as there are super creeps at the nexus, the bottom creeps are going to help fight them off, and then bottom is going to get pushed. So they can't really properly go for Baron because they might lose an inhibitor tower down bottom. It's just they're in a bad position at the moment.
Yeah,
There's nothing else to say about it.
Oh, they're gonna ninja take Baron as well, and this is the thing. Like, there goes the ward, but I don't know what they can do. Kaltard does not have the flash, they can't go over the wall, and they're actually going to stop and look for the initiate. There it is, goes right down.
Is going to get silenced as well, will not be able to get the ultimate up, it's way too low to go in now. Nip going to get very low, but it's going to use his ultimate and going to be fine. I'm not going to go down. Now Kauto is going to get his ultimate off on Profana and Daedrium, but those don't really matter, so to say. So Candy Panda going to pick up the kill, is going to be able to jump again. Jumps kind of the wrong way, but is going to pick up Jure, is going to be able to jump again. And he is going to jump, but that was kind of a useless jump. Good luck on Moma, and that's GG. That's over. Because Nexus Tower, in the meantime, Nexus Tower went down as you predicted. And yeah, that's the GG. Surrender vote comes out, and we're going to have an exploding Nexus right now. And Soraka says, Profana reported no skin. Well done.
That's why they lost. I mean, when? I mean, wait, what?
No, wait, what? I think it's the Candy Panda skin, dude.
Must be. He must be like the only person with that skin.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. Kinda weird. Okay, I'm gonna go take a look at damage done. Candy Panda definitely doing the most damage in the game. That was ridiculous. He has 140 damage. It's not as much of a difference as we've seen before with Golfist players, but still, it's a lot of damage coming out from him. 140,972. That's a lot. So yeah, well played by both teams. Congratulations to zoum for going to the finals, which we will be casting in a tiny bit, unless the semi-finals have been played yet on the other side of the bracket. I'm not sure about that. I'm pretty sure they have been or are going on. So yeah, it's going to be a quick ad break and some music, and we will be back with you, back to you guys shortly with the finals. Stay tuned.